Special guest, though, to kick off the show tonight, and we are excited to have him here. Dave Kane is an information technology professional, and of course, he works with our friends over at AMAC, and they've got a big boot camp for Patriots coming up in September. Let me also mention that this is a veteran of the U.S. Navy, so thank you for your service, and welcome to the show, Dave. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. So, well, first of all, we love AMAC. We love everybody at AMAC. We love talking to all the guys at AMAC, Shane Harris and such, that come on the show all the time. It's great. But tell us a little bit about, you've got a big show coming up, Boot Camp for Patriots, and we know you've done it before, Boot Camp for Boomers. You did one up here at the America First Warehouse, a place that we're very familiar with, where you can see us live every Friday night.
That's right.
But tell us a little bit about how this kind of came about, what you guys are trying to do with this, and tell us about this new show coming up in September.
So it all started from an idea of where the general public, as we all know, doesn't have the time or doesn't have the willpower to really navigate through all of the issues that are going on, or they just follow legacy media where we all know they're not getting the true story. So we wanted to take this to the local communities and bring leaders and personalities from various entities that are experts on things from immigration to education and the left's attempt to indoctrinate our children in schools and all kinds of subjects like that. So we hold panels and solo speakers, and we wrap it up in about 4 hours, and it's a great show. And I know if some of you guys were at the one around Concoman, that was a great show. So we're going to hold one at Patrick Henry College in Virginia on September 27th from 12 to 4 p.m. Should be a great show. We got a great speaker lineup. We've got a lot of RAV personalities. We love RAV. We love your partnership that we have together. So it's going to be a great event.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a good event. Now, I was talking to you off air because obviously the America First Warehouse, there's no place like it around here if you haven't seen it. But you guys, this time you picked Patrick Henry College, and I was saying to you, because you were saying that you're going to have Charlie Kirk and you're going to have some Q&A, and you invited the students.
That's right.
And when you said that, it kind of caught my attention, because when you think about colleges these days, maybe even, especially up and down the East Coast in Virginia, even though they've got Glenn Youngkin as the governor, still a lot of stuff going on there that you shake your head at what's going on in Virginia. But you said this is a pretty Christian conservative college. It is a Christian conservative college.
It very much is so. I was quite pleasantly surprised. I walked up. I was just there last Monday meeting with the woman that I'm doing the show with, their representative. And I walked up, and there was a young man, couldn't have been more than 20 years old. And he was sitting there looking at a book. Classes haven't even started yet. He looked up at me and he goes, "Good morning, sir. How are you?" I said, "I'm doing well. How are you doing?" He goes, "I'm doing great. It's a beautiful morning." I said, "Well, that's awesome." I said, "You have a wonderful day." He said, "You too. God bless." Now, I don't know how many college campuses around the U.S. you're going to get that kind of, reception for. I'm always flying my American flag and my Navy flag. So, on some campuses I might be run off. So it was a pleasant surprise, and it immediately attracted to me to, Patrick Henry College.
Yeah. And to that point, and I just read, I forget where I saw this article today, but I'm sure the work you guys do at AMAC, and you getting out there and and having these events and interacting with college kids and seeing what you guys are seeing and the work you guys are doing at AMAC, I feel like there is a cultural change going on. There is a change on campuses. There is a change in young men around the country. What are you guys seeing?
Yeah, we're seeing that as well. There's a lot of, not only is there a cultural, there's almost a spiritual change in young people as well. I feel like we're seeing it. And make no mistake, we're in a spiritual warfare in this country. I mean, whether you like to think that or not, I truly believe that. And a lot of young people are finding their faith. And it's amazing to see the transformation in our young people and, their values. And all of a sudden the veil is lifted, and, hopefully we can, have a younger generation of some common sense minded people that understand that what these people are trying to do to them is not right.
Yeah. As someone who's taken their first child to college, and Paul, you've gone through this, it took us a long time to try to figure out. I didn't want to tell him where to go, but, obviously as a parent, you want him to go someplace where, like that kid you met on that campus. And, and there's no phony business going on. There's no, any of this nonsense that we're seeing. And it nowadays, it takes a while. But we were lucky enough to find Sacred Heart in Connecticut, and he liked it.
That's a great school.
Yeah, and that's where he's going to end up going. But you're right. There's still a lot of still a lot of college campuses that are suffering from the Trump derangement syndrome, DEI, wokeness, and all that.
That's true. And I think it also goes right back to, you said it took a while, but fortunately, you guys chose the right school. Unfortunately, with the public school system, a lot of parents can't choose. That's why it's so important with these school vouchers and the legislation that's allowing people to choose where they send their kids through K through 12 is super important.
So let's talk about boot camp for Patriots. What can people who come to the college expect that night or that day?
So what we do is we have this really, supercharged environment. We have panels. This go around, we're going to have a panel on immigration, a panel on the indoctrination of our children in public schools, because whether you think it's over, it's not. Just because the Trump administration is in. Just today, you had Loudoun County, Virginia, double down on allowing male students in female bathrooms, along with 4 other school districts in Northern Virginia. So it's still happening, despite what you think, and it's not better. So we want to be out there and tell people on that. So that's what that panel is going to do. And we have some people from the local area, parents that were once their children was involved in an indoctrination process, and that turned the parent into an activist. We have a lot of speakers on election integrity, always important. The SAVE Act. You got this battle between the SAVE Act and ERIC voting systems, and why anyone wouldn't want to use the SAVE Act over ERIC. And you say that to, just the average Joe, they don't even know what either one of those are. So we're trying to educate people and do that for them. And then we have Charlie Kirk. We're hoping to invite the whole student body for Patrick Henry College to come on down. We know how much the young people like Charlie, so we're excited about it.
We're speaking with Dave Kane from AMAC, Boot Camp for Patriots. AMAC to host a day of truth, action, and resolve ahead of critical elections. And if you look at the flyer that was up again, you saw Charlie Kirk, Rebecca Weber, obviously the CEO of AMAC, the great John Solomon. I see you have Frank Gaffney as well. So a lot of great stuff. You have some other speakers as well. Anybody else you can let us know that people can look forward to seeing?
We have Ben Berquam. I'm sure you guys all know Ben, and we also have Phil Klein from Liberty U. We have.
Mark Serrano. It looks like you have Mark Serrano.
See what you did to me?
Yeah. Dr. Gina Loudon.
Well, we have Rebecca Weber, our CEO, obviously. She's an amazing speaker. We have Jason Sneed, Lynn Taylor. We have Moms for Liberty coming for the woke ideology. Tons of people it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a great day. So what else is AMAC working on right now? Tell us a little bit about, kind of what you guys are seeing, what else you guys are doing, how's membership, obviously, and I know this audience has responded in a big way. What else are you guys working on?
Well, our 501c4 AMAC Action, they're the real driving force behind our advocacy, and they do a great job. And we're behind most of the acts that are out there, the SAVE Act and things like that. And what we do is we have our members, we have an incredible member base. The AMAC members are, if we call them in need, they come in droves, and they'll send 70,000 letters to a congressman or a senator's office telling them, you better vote for this or you better not vote for this, and this is why. And all the typical issues that you have out there, we're fighting against.
Yeah. Again, AMAC Action, Saving the Nation Boot Camp for Patriots is going to be September 27th, 12 to 4 p.m. at Patrick Henry College in Purcellville, Virginia. You can get your tickets, but you can go to AMAC, obviously, AMAC.com, and get your tickets right there on the homepage.
AMAC.us.
AMAC.us. What am I saying?
Yeah,
AMAC.us/Studio6B if you want to sign up and be a member as well. Right. Get your tickets, AMAC.us. Guys, any questions for Dave?
Well, I could just say, one, it's great to have you here, and what you're doing is incredible. I said it going in, like, this isn't, we need more conservative groups that make a difference, that are able to really get the message, and get the message with such strength and authority, especially with the kind of clout you guys bring. And you brought up the spiritual awakening, and I'm seeing it a lot in the kids that my kids are friends with, and it really gives me so much hope. It really excites me, especially because, like, you see men like Charlie Kirk, who to me is a rock star. He's an absolute hero. He's made it totally cool to be a bad Christian. Yeah. Like, he's made Christianity a rock star status. And, these kids have been told that they're wrong because the colors. They're told they've been wrong because they're trying their best. They've been told that they are just born wrong, so to speak. And there is a spiritual warfare going on because it's evil, and it's the darkness of that Marxist party. And all of these people from, the top down have done everything in their power to indoctrinate our children. When moms were forced into the workplace, the state took care of your kids, and their moral foundation was gone, and what you guys are doing is fantastic. I would like to. I'm just curious. The age limit is 50. You have to be 50 to get into AMAC.
Actually, there's no age limit. When we started off, when Dan Weber, our founder, who unfortunately passed away several years ago, he started it as a senior organization to be the competitor to AARP because he felt like they just didn't represent his values. So he went to look for another organization that did. Lo and behold, there was none. So Dan Weber, the man that him being, and I knew Dan very, very well, he says, I'm going to start my own. This is a guy who was getting ready to retire. He had a successful,
That's great.
small insurance agency, very successful, getting ready to retire with his wife, Judy. And he started this organization in 2007. Fast forward to today, over 2 million members, Incredible. 230 employees, and making a real difference in the world. So hats off to Dan Weber.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love to see an AMAC group for high schoolers and youth. I just think there'd be a great way for them to feel like they're part of something going in, and just to create that kind of bond early on. So maybe if you guys invent that, just
we're working on that. We were hoping to fast track that with Charlie's group. We just kind of commingle with him.
We're speaking with Dave Kane from AMAC again, September 27th. Be ready as Virginia marches towards the midterms. Very, very important. And man, we lived in such a collapsed world calendar-wise for the political. Midterms are going to be here before we know it. Saving the Nation Boot Camp for Patriots, September 27, 12 to 4. AMAC.us to get your tickets. Go check them out, Dave. We really appreciate you coming to the studio and hanging out with us for a little bit.
Thank you, guys. We love you guys. AMAC loves Rav. You guys, we love you guys. That's all I can say.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And because you're sitting in Slick Rick's seat, you have to show your shoes now.
They're not going to be as fancy as Slick Rick's.
All right, 13 past the hour. Just getting started live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
If he was wearing lipstick boots, I'd have a problem.
Dave Kane from AMAC has joined us. He's going to hang out a little bit since Slick's not here. Dave's going to do sports here coming now. Dave's going to hang out, though. We'll talk about some things that happened today. And I just once again want to remind you, Saving the Nation Boot Camp for Patriots is happening September 27th with our friends from AMAC, 12 to 4 p.m. Great speakers, including our own John Solomon. Looks like Dr. Gina Loudon, Michelle Bacchus, Ben Berkwam. Great speakers, great day, 12 to 4, an impactful 4 hours down there at Patrick Henry College. And we want to see all the students from Patrick Henry College be a part of it. So it's going to be a great day. So
my question is, how the hell are you going to get all that stuff in just 4 hours? Because, you got a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dave. Do you have like a big, get off the stage sign that comes up for people when they run too long?
We have a timer to get them off. And as the producer of the show, it's rough to keep the run of show on time. And I tell you, in this particular one, because it's in the gymnasium, I have to stay particularly close to schedule because I have from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock to be out of there because they have a basketball game starting. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Wow. I apologize in advance to Patrick Henry College, the basketball team specifically.
Yes, boys, move your game to the parking lot.
Either that, or you and Charlie can take turns, maybe calling the game for the teams.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, there's lots to talk about today.
Oh my goodness, so much to talk about.
And I'll just start with, I really wanted to actually start on the weekend shows because I try to stomach the weekend shows so you don't have to, because most of you I know have taste. So I watched Margaret Brennan and Kristen Welker and Martha Raddatz. And the three of them. I got to be somewhat nicer because Dave's here and he doesn't want to hear the language probably. But the three of them are just so brutal and miserable. And Rubio was great.
Yes. Who was he on with?
He was on with all three.
He was. Okay.
It's like how many liberal wackadoo crackpots can you face in one day? I think these things are pre-taped, some of them, so he didn't have to do them back to back to back, but they all aired on Sunday, so it looked like he did all three of them. And I mean, just one wackier than the next, one arguing against peace more than the next. It's just stunning.
Yeah.
The TDS is so off the page that they sit there and they actually argue against the man trying to come to some agreement, which there was great steps taken today. And we have said this since last week. Everybody was quick to pan what happened in Alaska. Oh, disaster. Oh, didn't get what he wants. Oh, he got steamrolled. And he said, wait, slow down here. There's a reason they didn't take questions.
Yep.
There's obviously some very delicate things going on in the background. And then you look at today. What other leader, let me ask the audience this, what other leader could have gone to Alaska, did what he did there, and then 2 days later have this amount, have basically all of Europe at your place, almost at the snap of your fingers? And what a different feel it had today from Zelensky to all of the leaders there with the praise they gave the president. One guy said, I think the guy from Finland said, we've seen more in the last 2 weeks than we saw in the last 3.5 years in a movement towards peace here. No one else could have done this. Biden, 0 chance. Kamala Harris, 0 chance. Clinton, 0 chance. Obama, 0 chance. 0 chance that any one of them could have had the 72 hours that the president has had here. And getting this kind of coalition together, he actually, the word is he stepped out today to actually call Putin on the phone.
Well, we talked about that on Friday. You know, when they're like, oh, well, you know, it's going to be weeks before they do it. No, he's not going. It's strike while the iron's hot. This is the way he does deals, right?
Transactional.
Right. It's
motion
like, okay,
motion is success. It's got to keep moving.
If you got somebody already on the hook, why wouldn't you reel them in?
Yeah, he's a closer.
Yeah, he's the closer. He's like, all right, now I need you over here. You're going to be here on Monday. I was off by a day. I thought he'd have them all by Sunday, or at least Zelensky. He had them by Monday. Doesn't matter to me as long as they're all there. And now he's engaging with Putin to say, all right, here's our counter. Let's get this done. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the week they're like, oh, well, what are you talking about, a ceasefire? You know what a ceasefire is? You know why they're all complaining about a ceasefire? Because a ceasefire continues the conflict. It doesn't stop anything. It lets you reload. Right. It's like a timeout.
It means that Raytheon stock keeps going up. Then Northrop Grumman stock goes up. Because
exactly right.
These guys didn't. You mentioned all the players in the deep state. None of those guys would want to end this war.
No.
The Ukraine is the piggy bank for the globalist machine to run all their scams through it. They got their bio labs there. They've got their child trafficking apparatus there. They had crypto scams run through there. It's all kinds of money goes in the front door, goes to the government, out the back door, into the Democratic Party.
Right.
It's an absolute scam. It's a money laundering system. So guys like Biden, Obama, Kerry, even McCain, Clinton's, you know, all
Lindsey
these people,
Graham, those types.
Yeah, every single one of them facilitate Victoria Nuland. All these neocon puppets did everything in their power to build this war, to turn it into their slush fund, and they all got rich in the process. Yeah, and none of them wanted to end this war.
And the only reason that they want the ceasefire is a chance to reload, to see how do we keep this going, because if you're a sports fan or a boxing fan like we know Trump is, it's a standing 8 count, right? And who wants a standing 8 count? The loser does, because he needs time. The winner, Trump, he wants the knockout. He doesn't want the standing 8 count. That's why you want a ceasefire, because you want time to regroup. The winner says, no, I'm going to knock your butt out. Here we go.
Well, Trump said today he doesn't mind the idea of a ceasefire because it stops the killing, which is ultimately what he really wants to happen. So he did say that today, but he also said that I haven't needed one.
Did you ever hear Hitler say that? Let's stop the killing. I mean, you kidding me? Right. The guy has been the most anti-war president we've ever seen, possibly.
Right. And the only one saying, oh, we need a ceasefire are the media, and the left is like, oh, he didn't get a ceasefire. I guess he lost. No, he's actually going to win by knocking this out.
They just want to frame their base into thinking Trump derangement syndrome is worth having. So they continue to lie to their morons. Their audience, they're fully captured by their audience. They have no choice but to say what they want them to hear.
I mean, Dave, when you watch the president operate, he's a businessman. We saw him in New York be a businessman before he was president, and he continues to operate that way, right? He's very transactional. Let's just get it done.
That's right. And I think you have two sides here, and you guys both nailed it. You have the left who have the TDS, where they won't give Trump any wins. They would rather see the war go on for the entirety of Trump's administration, and then the next day, God forbid, if there's a Democratic president, then they'll want it and they'll all hail the new, the new president. And then you have the right war machine people that get rich off of it that want it as well. So he's getting it from both sides. He's not taking it from either of them. Yep. And I just love to see him work at his art, and he is true master at his art.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was early word out. The word was that even though this meeting had ended, that none of the leaders had been seen leaving the White House. There had been no motorcades out of the White House, even though the actual roundtable meeting had ended some 2 hours ago. And the word was that I think it was Ducey reported on Fox. He said, "I haven't seen anybody actually leave yet."
Well, they didn't all get all dressed up for nothing. They're all there. Deals. Let's negotiate. Let's
making deals.
Let's make this happen.
And that's the idea. The idea is that people would not be surprised if he has Zelensky and Putin together here in the very near future.
Which isn't a bad idea. You hear about the left freaking out. Oh my goodness, he welcomed President Putin to Alaska, to American soil. You know how huge that was? Not only the flyover where after he does the flyer, he gives him a little elbow like, you see that?
I'm just messing with you.
That's exactly. But you also
patted him on the head,
right? But you also see the left freaking out because they're like, wow, he's a war criminal. How much did Putin have to swallow to end up here?
That's right.
Think about that.
And I think Zelensky learned his lesson. He actually came in a suit.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Brian Glenn, a little back and forth today. We'll talk about that as well. 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We'll take a break. We're back right after this.